that for those who weren't here, we can post it for them later. I'm going to pass it over to Anders now. Anders is the Secretary General of the IF3. He's going to give you guys just a little bit more information about the event. But I'm really excited that we have such a big number of athletes who are able to make it to this briefing. We're really excited for a good event coming up next week. And I think the tests look really good. They look really hard. So I wish you guys all the best of luck. And with that, I'll turn it over to Anders.
Well, thanks a lot, Gretchen. Hi, everybody. Good morning or good evening or whatever time it is at your place. Like Gretchen said, we're really thrilled that we had so many athletes. We had more than 600 athletes doing the qualifier, which was pretty awesome for us. And congratulations to each and every one of you for actually making it to the final. We've seen some really awesome performances in the videos that we've been reviewing. So really impressive, and it's so nice. Doing this thing that we do next weekend for the live virtual finale thing, it's a big, oh, there's an iPhone. It's, we've never done this before. We know we've seen it that Rogue did something for their invitational. We saw that the CrossFit community did something for their qualifier as well. It's a big thing to move around. So we're just hoping that we can do it as pretty and nice as possible. I'm just going to go through a couple of things on the technical details. In the week to come, each and every one of you will get an email with two links. All right? The first link that you get in the email is the link that you are going to use to connect whatever thing you're using as a camera, okay? So that is for you as an athlete. For if you're using your iPhone or iPad or whatever you're using as a camera, that's the link you use for that one, because that one's going to connect to the system and actually broadcast your video signal to that. The other link you get in the same email is for your coach or your TO or whoever is going to help you out in the gym, because that's the link that will get them access to the chat. And this is important because every time you finish a test, your coach or TO or whoever is with you will have to write in the chat your score. So when you're done with test one, let's say that Frank just finished test one. So his coach or TO in the chat, he writes Frank Schust, test one, 37 reps. And then I can read that and I will enter that into the scoreboard and I'll take care of that, all of that. So, and also it's pretty good connection, the phone starts working, we can talk in the chat with the coach or the TO. So we have that connection and chatting with each other, because we will always be there in the chat with you guys. So that's the easiest way to think. One thing, another thing that you need to remember, two things actually. The first thing is try to make sure, I wrote this in the email, try to make sure that in the gym or whatever you're doing this test, try to get everybody else off the Wi-Fi. Because if you have like, if you're trying to broadcast the video, live streaming, and you have 25 other people doing Netflix or YouTubing or whatever they're doing, that's gonna screw up the Wi-Fi. So try to get everybody else off the Wi-Fi that you're using. If you can use a cable, that's the best thing to do it, but most people have Wi-Fi, so that's what we're gonna use. Try to get as good, try to make the background as little noise with things, like try to move things out of the way. Like if you have ski ergs or rowers in the background, try to get them out of the picture so we get a clean picture for the video. And try to get, you know, also noise, people, no loud music in the background or something like that, and make it as clean as possible. There was one more thing I was gonna say. Oh, damn, I forgot. Gretchen, help me out. Did I forget anything? I'm gonna put the emails in, I'm gonna put that, I forgot, there was one more thing. Maybe I'll remember.
I don't think so, not that I can think of.
That's your plan.
Oh, yeah, now I remember. Now I remember. Yeah, exactly. So what we're gonna do when you are online, and you are streaming, there's going to be a host or a commentator or MC or whatever you want to call it, and they're going to have the clock. They're going to have the clock behind them. So they're going to start the test. Okay, so they're going to go like 10 seconds, 3, 2, 1, start, and then the time is going to roll and everything. And hopefully this will be in sync. Hopefully, but we can't guarantee that everything will be synced. Remember that the most important thing is that the score you're getting is what your judge or TO has on his clock. It is not what the clock on the back says. That's for the audience only. It is what your TO has on his clock. When he stops it, that's the score you submit. Okay, so that's the important thing. Whatever we do with the broadcast and streaming, that's just for the, that's the fun stuff. That's the video and for the audience. But you do your workout in your box. Your TO is the one that's doing the no reps, and he is the one counting the reps and doing the clock thing, and they're reporting that score to me, and I'll enter that into the system. So just remember that all the time, okay? Any questions on that part? We have questions about the content, and they're speaking. Yep. Yes, Rachel, did you have a question?
Thomas Ratney from Hungary asking, what is the chat system?
Thomas, it's in the broadcasting system. It's the same. They click a link, they can see the broadcast, and there's a chat window, just like Zoom, but it's another system.
Second question.
Are we allowed to play music, Rebecca? Rebecca is asking about music. Yeah, you could. I think you can do that. I think we could, if it gets too loud, I think we can just mute you guys. So when we because we're gonna have commentary. So I don't see any problems for that. I think it's gonna be fine.
You have another question from
Rachel.
Camera.
Rachel asks about a spare camera. There's always, if it's possible to have another camera, that would be awesome. We don't, we don't think people will have it, but if you have it, that would be great. Yeah. In parallel filming, yeah, you can do like 2. You can move around. So we just work off our own clocks regardless of your live stream. You will try to sync with what you see on the live stream, yeah. But if there's some faults in the sync, then you just have to go with what you have, okay? So when you hear the countdown, that's when you start. But then you start working with your own clock. So the TO goes like, he can see the countdown, 3, 2, 1, and go, and he starts it. All right. Sync processing system fastest backend will be filming already. Yeah, that's true. It's like I said, if you have the option of using having a spare camera, yeah, use it. Bring it, and that would be great. It's always good. All right, that's it for me. I'm gonna hand over to Veronique, who's gonna go through all the content in the test. Yeah, I know. It's going to be live filming 80 minutes. So that's a good point, actually. It's going to be live filming for 80 minutes. It is true. So make sure that your phones are charged or whatever you're using, and always maybe have it connected. If you have the option of connecting your camera or phone to the power outlet, that would be good. Yeah. All right, move on to Veronique. Go ahead, Veronique.
You have another question. Are we doing this over Zoom or another media?
It's going to be another media. It's a broadcasting media.
Oh, it's on mute. Great, guys. Good morning, evening, afternoon. So I'm Veronique. I'm the IF3 TO committee chair. I will be all the how it works for the rest of the meeting. We're gonna go through the flow of the full event, and then test by test, we're gonna go through the flow and the movements. So for the questions, we're gonna split that part by part. So if you have any question after the flow, we're gonna ask them now, and then go through the standards. If you have any question about the standards, we're gonna go through them after that. and then wrap up the first test. Any other questions were great, and then going on. Congrats for being there, going to the final, guys. That's amazing. Will try to make my English as great as possible, since my first language is French. I'm from Canada. So are you ready to go through it? I made a PowerPoint, so gonna make it easier to you guys to learn, to hear what I'm saying, and I'm gonna have something to watch also. My PowerPoint is there. Should be there soon. Great, I'm gonna do that in Diaporama. So, as I said, I'm gonna go through the flow standards, TO's work, and some tips for the great flow of your event in your gym. So that was the briefing schedule. We have on the PowerPoint, you should get them also by email. My PowerPoint is all influenced by the website. So all information in the PowerPoint is the same as on the website too. So those are two major links you should know. So is one about the full movement standards. So it's all about the movement standards rulebook. And the other one is the rulebook itself, about fair play, uniform, and all that kind of stuff. So I'm gonna leave them there. So flow of your workouts. You have seen the workout has been released on last Friday. So this is the whole event from minute 0 to the last beep. So test 1 is endurance. So it's from minute 0 to 21. So we have a 21 minutes workout for the test 1 endurance. Gonna have a rest of 14 minutes after that. Going through test 2, this strength event. You have a 15-minute strength event next weekend. Rest of 10 minutes. On the hour, you have your test 3 power of 2.5 minutes, and then a rest of 7.5 minutes. And starting your last workout will be mixed on the 7th minute for 10 minutes, and then the final beat. You're finished. We're done. So that's pretty much straightforward. We're gonna go for test 1. I know we have already some questions there. So test 1 endurance. So it's 21 minutes workout. It's 7 rounds of 2.5 minutes per round. So it's a back and forward run. So run 15 meters, run. So you have 4 times of 15 meters, or we have changed that for people who don't have a gym like wide, who have enough space for the 10 meters. You could do the 15 meters. You could do also a 7.5 meter length and do 8 times. That will be the same amount of running. You have the burpees, 10 burpees to a plate, which is 3 inches plate height. And then go back to the running, 4 times 15 meters or 8 times 7.5 meters. And then for the rest of the 2.5 minutes, the 2 remaining times, you have max meters on the concept 2 rower. So you're running for the remaining time of your 2.5 minutes. And then you're gonna have a 30-second break, and then you're gonna start the routine again for 7 rounds total. So your final score will be the total meters in all 7 rounds. If we have any TOs there, or guys, don't forget to tell your TOs too, the meters will be kept, will be noticed when the rowers stop. So it's not at the 2.5 minutes mark, it's when the rowers stops running, and then the TO takes the distance, push the button reset, and gonna put it back at 0 at this time. And then we're gonna go through it for 7 rounds. If anyone has a question about the flow of this workout before we're going for the standards?
Question. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. When it comes to the burpees, when you're jumping on the plate, is there any, do the entire foot has to be on the plate, or is it enough with half of the foot, but then, or is it only that you need to be stretched out in the hips and knees and everything?
Well, actually what we're saying, we're gonna go through the standards, the movement standards after that. But what we want to do on the burpees is to make a vertical alignment of shoulders, hips, knees, and feet. So we want a vertical line. So sometimes when when you only put the toes, you're like losing balance, and then your knees are bending. Sometimes so make sure that as much as possible the feet on the page should be fine. You only have to do to jump on it. So it could be half of the feet, 3/4 of the feet. I don't mind, as long as we have a vertical and a full extension at the top. But it's a question about the flow of the workout, so how it goes, and if you have any question about the flow of the workout.
Hi, yeah. Sorry. I have a question.
Yep.
So before we start the flow of the workout, obviously on 0 we start. Do we have to run through the meters for the run, the height of the plate, all that sort of stuff?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
So for the test, obviously on 0 we start. Do we have to go through like what we measured, how far the run is, the height of the plate?
No, you don't. You don't have to do all the measurement and showing your equipment.
You don't have to.
Since you'll have your official will be there with you. So the official is there, to verify that. So this is just, the streaming is more just for the broadcast rather than going back and verifying your scores.
It's just basically down to you and the judge then.
Yeah, it's you and your judge. Yep.
Have you seen any question about the flow, Gretchen?
I think maybe the one about all 7 rounds is the flow question, kind of the last one from Rachel. Do they have to do all 7 rounds, or can they skip 1 or 2 rounds in order to recover?
Actually, you don't have to do all 7 rounds, but you are taking the risk of putting a 0 for that round. So if you don't do that round, you're putting a 0, and it will count on the total of your 7 rounds. Do you have any other question, Gretchen?
I don't think so. I'm not seeing anything else.
Great. So standards time. Right here. Great. So endurance standards for running. So at the beginning, both feet has to be behind the line. So no 1 foot inside the 15 meters or in the running part, and the other one is like both feet behind the line. When you're running and you do your whole distance, you need to touch behind the other line, behind the finish line, only 1 hand. So you don't need to go both feet and 2 hands, or it could be 1 foot and 1 hand only, as long as you touch the ground with one hand behind the other line. And on your last 15 meters, of course, you don't need to touch, just go to the burpees or to the rower, depends the first or last last run during this round. Burpees to plate. This isn't an error. It's 3 inches or 7 centimeters for the plate. You know, our burpees, it's chest on the ground, prone position. So your body is lying facing the plate. A jump must be 2 foot takeoff. So it's no deer jump or 1 feet to 1 feet at a time, it's 2 foot takeoff. And on the plate, you should be in vertical alignment. So showing a full extension in control. The TO, if I get a tip from a TO, it could be like, you have to show that the TO can draw a vertical line from your head, shoulder, hips, knees, and feet. So we have to be a straight one. For the rower, it's the concept 2 rower. You have to be seated when you're rowing, of course. Oops, I'm gonna go back. The reset of the rower will be by the TO in between your sets during the 30 seconds after the rower has stopped running. And yep, records meter after rower stops counting rather than at the 2.5 minutes time. That's pretty much it. Do you have any question about the standards for test 1 endurance? Yep. Question.
There's one, Veronique. Karen is asking, can the athlete burpee with their chest on the plate?
Nope, it's just on the ground.
Rachel was asking about filming the row display, and that would not be necessary. That's gonna be pretty impossible because we want the camera to be static on one position throughout the entire the tests. So keep the rower and make sure that the TO does that. That's the counting for it.
We have another burpee question, Veronique. Can we step up and down on the burpee? And then the second part of that question is, can our head be over the plate?
No head over the plate, so you have to be behind, and it's a 2 foot take off. So we have to jump on the plate, and you can step down as you want, but you have to jump on it, so it's 2 foot takeoff. You want a demo, guy?
Demo it?
Actually, we have. Let me see if I can get it here. Right. This is the website on which you can find all the information. I'm going to show you the link that you have seen for the flow of the workout. It's pretty much straightforward.
I don't think you can see it, Veronique.
Huh?
I can't see it. I don't know if on the screen. I'm not seeing the video.
No? Okay. It's kind of weird.
You might have to stop your share and then restart it.
Probably.
Yeah.
Gotta go back on them. Do you still see the PowerPoint?
Yeah, I see the PowerPoint.
Okay. Well, on the website, you have all the videos for the flow. We have the question about the burpees. Do you guys need a demo for the burpees?
There's a question about if the burpee, the whole foot on the plate or just the toes. Is that good enough?
Well, actually, what I said earlier about the feet on the plate, it's the risk is if you only have the toes, you can have like bending knees. Sometimes the hips are not fully open, so that's a risk. Don't make sure as half of the feet can be on it. I'm good with that. Just make sure that we have that vertical alignment in total control on the plate.
Okay, so you don't have to have the entire foot, but you need to make sure that you are extended in the hip and the knees.
Exactly. Okay, yeah. I'm gonna set up something here.
Oh, then there was the question about the burpee,
Yeah.
Veronica. They were asking about stepping up and down on the burpee itself, like instead of jumping your feet in.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's okay. I'm good with that.
Mhm.
So guys, I'm going to bring you in my garage so we can have some demo live. Gonna make sure you're seeing me. So I have my plate. Some burpees in front. You can come back and we have to see that. So this is half my foot. If you're going like this, sometimes you're like losing balance and you can lose control of that. So you can go only half feet is all good. So burpees, coming back, up, and then you have your 10 to do. Whew. Management time. Any other question about the burpees?
I don't see any. I think you're good.
No question about the flow, the whole workout.
Oh, we got one more, Veronica. Is there a certain distance the plate has to be behind the run lines?
No. Actually, you should. Anders, will you send like the ideal setup plan to the athletes? Anders?
Sorry, I didn't hear you. You were lagging on me. What was the question?
Yeah. Will you send the ideal setup plan to the athletes?
It's on the website.
It's on the website.
Yes,
Okay.
there's a picture on the website that shows what the ideal setup would be, and that's how we would like it to be perfect.
Yeah.
There's a couple questions about filming the meters and then the camera catching the run. So for the filming the meters thing, guys, think of this more like less as an online qualifier and more as of a live in-person event, right? If you are at a live competition, you're not going to, your judge, your technical official is the one who's looking at your meters and recording it, right? And that's how it would work in a live event. The camera is there more for streaming purposes than for checking if your score is right? Where your official is the one who's responsible for making sure. So we're not going back after this the way we did for the online qualifier, where we watched your videos, and if there were no reps, you got deducted. This, your technical official's word is the last word, right? The same way as if it were an in-person competition. So that's why we're not filming the meters on the rower, because you have your official there to be counting the reps. When we did the qualifier, you didn't have an official, so we had to go back and make sure you did everything right. Here you have an official, and they're the ones in charge of making sure you're doing it right. So that's why we're not doing that. I know I had a couple of questions sent to me on that. And then the camera on the entire length of the run, I believe in Anders' diagram that's on the website, the setup does not show the entire length of the run, and that's fine. If you can do it, awesome. Like, obviously we'd love to see that on the stream. But I think for most people that's not going to be possible. But again, that's why you have your official there. They're going to make sure that you're touching the line, past the line on each run, even if we don't get to see it. And then let's see. Another question came in, Veronique. Is it possible to not do a round? And Veronique did answer that, and she said, yes, you can skip around. And then plate facing on the burpees or perpendicular to the plate is the question.
Facing. Yeah.
Plate facing on the burpees. Okay, any other ones? I don't see any other ones or any hands up. So I think you're good to move on to test 2, Veronique.
Good. So test 2 is strength event. It will be from the 35th minute to the 15th minute. It's the 15 minutes workout in which you will have to find a 3 rep max shoulder to overhead and a 3 rep max overhand grip deadlift. Your score will be the sum of your heaviest 3 rep max shoulder to overhead and 3 rep max deadlift in kilograms. So for people who are using pounds plate, you will have to convert your weight in kilograms. And after this workout, you will have a 10-minute break. So some specific point to this workout. So you can have as many attempts as you want for each 3 rep max. Weight can increase and decrease. You may cycle in between movements also, so you can do an attempt on the shoulder to overhead and then to go to the deadlift and then coming back to the shoulder to overhead and then the deadlift, do another one to the deadlift and go back for the shoulder to overhead. So it's your time management at this point. Clips must be on barbell for an attempt to count. We have seen a lot of some videos that in the qualifier weren't using clips. So it's for your security guys. So change plate, put your clips on, and then your attempt will be good to count. You may have assistance. So you will have a TO with you for sure. So if you want to bring a friend to help you change plate, we don't mind. You can use a friend to change your plate or two, if one on each side, that's fine. And don't forget to call your weights. So if you're attempting a 3 rep max of 200 kilos, like next attempt 200 kilos, and then you do your stuff. So for the flow of this workout, do you have any questions?
I don't know if this really goes to flow, but asking if they can use a 20 kilogram, use both a 20 kilogram and a 15 kilogram barbell. So I guess that's asking maybe a different barbell for each, like a 20 kilogram for, say, the shoulder to overhead and 15 for the deadlift. Is that the right question? Am I reading that right? I think that's what's being asked. Yes. Okay. If they can use a different size barbell for the different lifts.
Yes, you can. Just make sure your weight is good when you call it.
Yeah. Don't forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I just add something to Diana's question there about the?
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, so I was noticing that the question was that because of our local setup, we will have to move the camera, and are you okay with that? The clock might not be in the background. Actually, we don't want you to have a clock in the background, because that's going to confuse. If we have 5 different clocks on 5 different people and then the official MC clock, that's going to be confusing. So we don't want you to have a clock in the background visible. If you have it so that only you can see it, that's fine, but not in the streaming video. That would be better, because we're going to use the MC clock and then you use the timer that the TO has in his hand or whatever. Okay. So it's better not to have a gym clock in the video.
Question about pound plates. If using pound plates for the call, does it need to be called in kilograms? It's more, Anders probably can answer this more for the scoring, but we just need the score in kilograms. I guess how you want to communicate with your TO, I would say, is fine, but as long as you report the score back to Anders in kilograms, unless
Actually,
Anders has
I was actually thinking that we might even do, if you're using plates in pounds, you might as well just report the pounds to me and I will do the translation, because then I will do the same translation for everybody. So I think that's actually better off. So if you're using pounds, you just give me pounds and I will transfer that into the correct kilo.
Okay. All right, I don't see.
Question about the flow, guys, before we're going to the standards.
See, just on the calling of the weight, do you mean just call out the weight to the TO or call it to the recording device?
Just to the TO.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because we probably will have you guys on mute. So we probably won't be able to hear you anyways, but yeah.
Nope.
Let's see. We have standards question coming up, Veronique. Do you want me to wait? Do you want to go over standards first before we ask?
Yeah, we're gonna go on the standards first. Maybe we're gonna ask. I'm gonna answer some.
Okay, we'll do the standards question in a second. Veronique's gonna go ahead
Great.
with that.
So for standards for strength event, for the shoulder to overhead, it must be taken from a rack. You must achieve a full vertical alignment of the elbows, shoulders, hips, knees, and ankles at the top of the repetition. So I'm gonna try to go again what it means. I'm gonna bring it here. So vertical alignment is like from side, you should look like this. So if you're going arcing a lot, your hips are not open there, so you must squeeze your butt. I'm showing this. So if you're here and you're going like overarching, if you can see my hips are not here fully extended, so make sure you squeeze your butt, and then we get the full alignment there. I'm gonna go back on the other camera. Cool. And you can move the barbell in any fashion. So it could be a shoulder press or a strict press, push press, push jerk, split jerk, and you can mix all the movement in the same 3 rep max. So you can do in the same 3 rep max would be a push press, push jerk, and split jerk, as long as at the end of each repetition you show a full extension completely in control, of course. Deadlift. So deadlift is a overhand grip. So it's no mixed grip and it's no supination grip. So you have like a clean grip. You can call it like a clean grip. So it must be like this. So no mix and no supination grip. If you want a hook grip, like in weightlifting, that's good. And no straps. So no gym grip, no power lift grip, the one you using at the wrist. So you have to move your barbell from ground to hips. And when the barbell is at the hips, you have another, again, a full vertical alignment that going through shoulders, hips, knees, through the feet. So it's like a vertical line. Ends and arms must be outside both legs, no bouncing on the ground. So you have no gaining momentum at the bottom, and it must be touch and go. So it's not doing one deadlift, like second rest at the bottom and then go, taking rest and then go. It's like, it's only like a fraction of second touch on the ground. For the workout, so the score will be in kilograms, and there's gonna do the conversion. You can use 2 different barbell, so one on the ground, one on the rack. At the 35th minute, if you wanna start with barbell already loaded, that is allowed. So in your rest, you can warm up for your first weight, of course. Clips must be on the barbell for the attempt to count. And you can, so as I said earlier, you can switch from one movement to the other in your 15 minutes in as many times as you want. Anytime, just make sure you make the right count to the TOs for the weight. And that's pretty much it. First, I'm gonna see your questions now.
All right, we got a bunch of questions, Ronnie, so I'll kind of stop, make sure we get through them all. First one we had on the deadlift, can we use a mixed grip? You already said that, so no. Let's see. Is it possible, can another person help to put the weight on the bar?
Yep.
So you kind of have assistance there.
You can have your pit crew.
Sorry, what? I interrupted you. Say it again.
Yeah, you can have a pit crew.
Yeah.
Yeah, pit crew guys that's changing plates. Yeah.
Someone said, so we have no idea what numbers the other people in our age group are lifting until the end. I guess you could watch the live stream and see everybody else. I mean, maybe Anders can answer that. I think you can see everyone else on the live stream. So in theory, I guess you could look and try to figure it out, but you're not going to be able to hear them. Is that right, Anders?
That is true. So they can actually, you can see it, and you're going to have the MC. They will, I mean, it's a broadcast, live broadcast. If you have someone watching that, you will see what other people are doing. But the reporting, when people report things, they will report it to me, and it's only going to be me and the production team that can actually see the numbers that you are reporting. But if you want to know what other people are doing, then you got to watch the live stream.
Okay, back to standards questions. Can we use tape on the thumbs?
Yep, that's good.
And last question that I have here, is it possible to do the deadlift without shoes?
No, that's a rule, guys. In the competition and rule book, shoes must be. You have to put some shoes for every workout, every movement. Anytimes, even setups on ground, you have to put shoes on if you're doing sit-ups. So it's always shoes on.
And I think that's all the questions on that. I don't see any hands up, so I think you're good.
We're good. Going for test 3. So test 3 is power. It's at the hour for 2.5 minutes. You have some different weight that you should look on the website for the age group to make sure you're using the right weight. So the workout is for time with a time cap of 2 minutes 30 is 30 thrusters and 300 meters for the man on the rower and 250 for the ladies. And after that workout, you're gonna have a 7.5 minute rest. So until the 70th minute. That's pretty much straightforward. Do you have any question about the flow of this workout? Pretty simple. So we're gonna move on standards. So the standards for thrusters. So it's a barbell put on the front rack position. You have to go at the bottom of a squat with the hip crease below the knee, as usual. Elevates the object to a position directly overhead, so it's a fluid movement. So it's no rest at the full extension of the hips. You only rest in when your hips it's completely done at the top. You have to stand into a full vertical alignment again. Elbows, shoulders, hips, knees, like that you can draw a vertical line from the top through your feet. And no thrust or jerk allowed for this movement. So you can do a dip. The rowing, it's the same as endurance standards. So must be a concept to rowing, rower must be seated on the rowing while you row. And distance must be achieved before coming out of the seat, of course. Any questions about thrusters and rowing? That is your power test. About the standards, any questions? It's not written there. It's a regular question we usually hear about when you for the thrusters. Yeah, you can squat clean the first one as long as you reach the bottom of the squat. So hips, the hip crease below the top of the knee.
There's a question here for the row. Do they have to use the distance feature on the concept too? So I think he's asking, he or she, actually, I don't know who it is, asking if it has to be set to count down, right? Or can I just get on and start pulling? It's a he. All right, thank you. He's asking if we can, if he has to set it to count down.
Yeah, actually, it will be the time up of your TO, because you can set it like to 0 to 300 or 300 to 0. Actually, it's your choice, because you're gonna take the time of your TO. Your distance on the row, the monitor of your row will only show the time for your distance.
So either way on that, you don't have to set it to count down. You can if you want. And then we have another question for the thruster. At the end of the movement, the head should be in front of the bar. So they're asking if the head has to be in front of the bar at the top.
Actually, if I'm gonna keep that camera, but when you at the end of your thrusters, actually what we like the cueing when the TO said pull your heads through, it's to open your shoulder. So what we need to see is that your shoulder is fully open and not, I'm gonna show you that. So we want to see shoulder fully open. So if your head is back, you can see that my shoulder is like closing up. So just bring your shoulder, bring your head are fully.
I think that I don't see any others. I don't see any hands up. So I think that's it.
It's quite cold here.
I think that's it for test 3. I think that's all the questions we got. So I think you can go to the last one.
Great. So test mixed, test 4, starting at the 7th minute. AMRAP, 10 minutes, guys. So if you get through all of this, you have to restart again. Okay? So it's 10 pull-ups, 10 handstand push-up, 10 kettlebell deadlift, 30 double unders, and then 20, 20, 20, 60, 30, 30, 30, 90, 40, 40, 40, 120, and 50, 50, 50, 150 double unders at the end. And then you'll be done deal for the whole event after test 4. Rope must spin forward, 3x to count, and the kettlebell must be outside your legs for this. And after that, I just want to question about the flow of this workout. We're good to go. Great. Standards. Pull-ups. So must start hanging with full extension of the elbow. So no bending elbow when you're gripping the bar, the pull-up bar, and then pull. So you have to show a full extension. And then you have to pull yourself to show your chin totally over the horizontal plane of the pull-up bar. So it's, if you have the pull-up bar here, this is no good. You have to show a chin completely over, and you can use as any kip you want. So kipping pull-ups, butterfly pull-ups is all good, as long as the full extension at the bottom is reached and chin completely over. Kettlebell deadlifts. So you must like pull the kettlebell off the ground to reach full extension at the hips and knees in control. Both kettlebell must touch the ground for reps to count. And yeah, arms and ends outside the knees. Achieve full extension of elbows, shoulders, hips, knees, and ankles at start and end, not ankle, yeah. At start and end of each repetition. Guys, if you have kind of an example, the final position of a shoulder to overhead is the same position as an instant push-up, but upside down. So it's the same vertical line. You have your standards about the box size. So feet must be inside the box. Head must make a contact on the ground at the bottom of the rep. And palms should be entirely within the width of the box. So if you have a line, if your line of your box is there, so this is good, this is no good. Usually we use a sheet. I have one here. So this is my line. So this is okay, this is okay, this is okay, this is no good because my palm is touching the line. Fingers is good. And for double unders, so rope as to spin forward. And of course, you have to pass twice your feet to count. So TOs on this one, make sure sometimes athletes do a single for the unders. So make sure you count all the double unders and no single unders on the count. Do you have any question about the standards of test for mixed?
I've got a question here about grips. If they don't use grips, are they allowed to tape the bar?
The grips for the pull-ups?
Yes. If they don't use, if they're not going to use grips for the pull-ups, are they allowed to put tape on the bar?
Oh, tape on the bar.
Yeah, taping, like tape on the pull-up bar.
That's a good one. Yeah, the white tape.
Yeah.
That's a good one. I should say yes. I'm good with that.
Yeah, as long as you're not
But
putting,
just remember, will not be allowed in the live competition.
yeah, as long as you're not putting the sticky side of the tape out, right? As long as you know what I mean. Which it can't be like double-sided
But
sticky.
it would be hard to know.
Yeah. Okay, so we said yes on that. Handstand push-ups can be kipping, right? Or the question is, can you kip the handstand
Yep.
push-ups? Yes. And so
I hope you're gonna keep.
sorry, you froze for a second, Veronique. But you're still my.
Just remind your. Whoop. Am I back again?
Yeah, say it again. We didn't get that.
Okay, so just quick reminder, use your final handstand push-up position, like your shoulder to, I don't like to use example as an athlete as example, so, but we all know broke handstand push-up. So just make sure you squeeze your butt at the end, so you're gonna have that great vertical alignment, that great straight line.
And then a question, just to check, if an athlete finishes the final round and still has time on the clock, they start the round of 10s again.
Yep, it's an AMRAP 10 minutes.
And those, I think, are the only questions I don't see any hands up. I think that's it for questions.
Great. So next,
So, sorry.
TOs. What I'm asking you is the standards. Oh, I have another question.
No, just not a question, but if anyone finishes the AMRAP, he says he'll buy you a beer. So some motivation there.
Okay, so TOs, what I'm asking you is to reinforce the standards. I am a TO. I know it's not easy to give no rep. I know we don't like to give no reps, but if it's your athlete you're coaching, your wife, your husband, your best friend, your teammate, or whatever, it's probably the best thing you can give them is a no rep so they can learn from it and get better and better and better. So in big stage, they don't make that same mistake again. So please, we're not giving no reps for fun. So reinforce the standards, call no reps if you need to, if the standards are not met. Guide the athletes through the workout. I've done competition before. I know when you're in the zone, you're like sometimes get lost or whatever. So like mostly for the mixed standards, you can guide the athletes through the workouts. Okay, guys, give me your 10 pull-ups. Okay, we're gonna go through the instance push-up when you 10 and blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. So gotta helps the athletes to perform and make sure the workout is respected. So the order and everything, make sure the rep count is good also. Inform well, actually the best thing is if you give a no rep, try to give a quick clue for why they have a no rep. So on pull-ups, chin higher, squeeze your butt, no rep, squeeze your butt, and that kind of stuff. And from
sorry, just on the scoring for the group chat, sort of answers the Anders on the weightlifting one, but just in general, the chat, you put your scores in. That's a private chat just between Anders and the public for every other TODC. Is that right?
The public will not see the chat at all. The public,
Perfect.
will only be able to view through on YouTube. So we're sending it to YouTube.
Excellent.
You can see the chat.
Okay, thanks.
So for ATOs now, if you continue, if you can just show sometimes, because we're gonna go live streaming, if you can show the 5 last rep, 4, 3, 2, 1, can help the public see where you're at. Show the movement of no reps, you know, that big waving. So actually it's for the camera also. So the people that are viewing, so all your friends that will be at home watching you cheering for you will know where you're at also. Keep a great communication with your athletes. Like 2 minutes left or something like that. Sometimes it helps also the athletes know where he is at. And please, no coaching cue. I know it could be your wife, your friend again, but you're not there to coach or to cheer. You're there to a TO. So in between, and that's fine if you're gonna give a high five or not. But during the workout, please just try to keep in your head that you're an officials. Some tips. So our gym clock personal timer, so is the official time. We're gonna have one on the stream as a reference for the public that is seeing the live stream. If you wanna use the WeTime preset timer, go for it. We'll have it on the WeTime app. Try to stay on screen. So I know with the run, it will not It will not be easy for this part, but try to stay on screen during your all workout. If you want to use some friends to change weight or just to help you move all your equipment in between the workouts, that's all good, and that is suggested. So your rest is a real rest. If you want to prepare before the stream starts, all your equipment not so far of your workout station, that will be great. Also, it might give you some time during this whole 80-minute show. Quick reminder to call your lift before to your TO, so you can review your barbell and make the real count. And you will see, you will have an email with all the streaming information for your cell phone that will film or anything you will use, and the other part for the chat for this transmission of the final score of your workout. Am I done? I think we're done.
There was one question. Is it okay to use for the test 4? Is it okay to use grips and tape the pull-up bar?
It's
No.
one
So
or the
grips or
it's one or the other, not both.
And then we have one more question. Is there anything going to be anything after the 80 minutes to stick around for? No, probably not really. We'll probably take some time to finalize, make sure all the scores, and just double check we have scores correct before officially announcing winners. So we probably won't do an immediate awards ceremony. Plus, because we have the heats kind of going back to back, we probably won't do awards right then. We'll announce it probably after the fact.
Let's leave that question open for a little bit. We might be able to do some, winners interview or something. Maybe we'll see how the time flows and how we're going to do that. And getting to that, I'm just going to steal the word now from Gretchen because Veronique is done. There was a couple of things that I want to add to the technical things that we're doing. The times that you have been given, the time slot. So if your workout starts at, say, 8 o'clock, that's when you should be ready to start performing, okay? So it's not gonna be the time when you start, but you must be ready for it. So when it starts at 8 o'clock or whatever your time is, then you should have all the equipment set up, all the people around, all the camera rigged and everything. You should be warmed up and ready for everything that's gonna happen, okay? So we don't want people to log in at 8 o'clock and then start doing the equipment because that's going to be too late. Okay. So make sure that you're ready for everything at the designated start. I would like you to be ready and even try to log in, 5 or 10 minutes before, because we're going to use the broadcasting system that we're going to use. We're going to, you can be online, but it's not going to be publicly visible because we're going to start broadcasting when we are ready, because we're going to have introductions and hosting and blah, blah, blah. So get ready, 5 or 10 minutes before, have everything done. And when it's actually done and you're supposed to start, it would be really good if you could actually be facing the camera, something like this. So people could see you. We could introduce you, say, okay, so here's Camilla, here's Jürgen, here's Björn, here's Frank, and welcome everybody, and a little wave. And okay, you have 1 minute, get to your stations, 3, 2, 1, start. So it looks good. And just do it that way. And then we're gonna see, I'll get back to you later this week if we can have, if we have time for awards ceremony and that stuff. I think that's it for me. You got anything, Gretchen?
I don't think I have anything else. Just make sure you're checking your email because that's when Anders is going to send the link out to you guys. And also make sure that you have the time right for your session, right? It's on the website. And I think we have it up there in a couple of different time zones, or at least we originally posted in a few different time zones, but make sure that you have the right time for your session. We don't want to have to wonder where you are, and we will not wait for you. So just make sure that you know exactly when you're supposed to be logging on, what day and what time. Yes, briefing is recorded. I'm recording this, so we'll post this up to probably YouTube or somewhere so you can watch it. And let's see, one more question here. Can you announce 10 seconds before the start? Does that mean for like the countdown, Diana? Yeah, we can have like, we'll have everyone, it'll be coordinated. It won't be a like suddenly surprise countdown. The MC will make sure that we're ready, that everybody's ready to go. And we'll try to give you a cue too, right? Since most clocks are gonna have a 10-second countdown, he'll probably give you a 3, 2, 1 to the 10-second countdown before we go, or however it's gonna work, so that you guys can sync your clock as easy as possible. And then the link to view it all, it's going to be on YouTube. Yes, Anders?
It'll be live streaming on YouTube. We're gonna make an event, a Facebook event, that's gonna link, with the links to the YouTube, and we're gonna try to promote it. So have all your friends check that out, and we'll see what we can, how we can spread it. So it'll be live on YouTube for everybody to watch.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you guys. You made that pretty time efficient. I know we budgeted 2 hours for it, so I'm glad we got through it sooner. And good luck to everybody, and we'll see you next weekend.
Good luck, everybody. Work out hard.
All right. Thank you.
Have fun doing it.
Bye,
Bye.
guys.